Welcome back, everybody. We've got one last recipe for you, and we're making a pumpkin custard. I thought it'd be perfect for Halloween and actually right on through Thanksgiving. And this recipe actually comes to us from the new cookbook, Delightful Dishes, which is $13, and it's filled with recipes from employees of Green Bay, Seymour, Pulaski, and Shawano McDonald's restaurants. And all of the proceeds go to the Ronald McDonald House, which helps so many people who have sick children and gives them a place to stay and provides for their needs and all that kind of good stuff. So it's chock full of real recipes, all for a great cause. And if you go to fox11online.com, click on the Living tab, we've got more information on where you can get a hold of the book. So we're going to make a pumpkin custard, and this is a really nice recipe because it's sugar-free, so it's perfect for diabetics, which we do get a lot of requests for, so diabetic recipes. So here you go. We're going to start with 2 eggs, and I'm just going to beat those. This is a really nice rich dessert, something a little special. You can make it ahead or serve it warm, it's up to you. So 2 eggs beaten. Just going to add that to my bowl. Thank you, Anne. Now I've got a 1.5 cups of, you can use skim milk, just if you want to lighten it a little bit, and a 1.5 cups, this is just canned pumpkin. And I was at the grocery store last night, and I'm telling you, they put right next to each other, and the cans look identical. The canned pumpkin and canned pumpkin pie filling. You don't want that. That's already got all this stuff in it. So this is 1.5 cups of just canned pumpkin. And I found this at Festival. They keep that in the baking aisle. Just to let you know, I was down in the fruits and the vegetable, canned fruits and vegetables aisle, and it was not there. So check the baking aisle. So I'm just whisking this together. Now in goes 1 packet of Sweet and Low. Now I'm sure if you wanted to do this recipe with sugar, you certainly could. I would do a few tablespoons of just granulated sugar, up to 1/4 cup, depending on how sweet. Pinch of salt, 3/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I like a lot of cinnamon, so 3/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of some other wonderful spices. And if you don't like any of these spices, you can leave them out. This is cloves, so I usually like to go a little light on the cloves because they can be a little powerful. Allspice, nutmeg again, which can be very strong, and a little bit of ginger. The recipe calls for 1/4 teaspoon of each of those, but again, feel free to back off on those. I like to go heavy on the cinnamon and a little less on the others. So this is it. This is that easy. Now, what I do is, the recipe calls for taking ramekins. We happen to have 8-ounce ramekins. The recipe calls for 6-ounce, so these are going to be a little bit bigger, but you can just fill them less. And I'm just taking a ladle, and I'm spooning the custard into the ramekins. Now, Anne, oven temperature on this was?
Starts at 4 1/4 for 10 minutes and then comes down 3.
Okay, so this is the key when it comes to doing this. 450 for about 10 minutes, and then you turn it down to 350 for another 20. Now these are going to take a little bit longer to bake, these 8-ounce, because they're a little bit bigger. So I've got them in a baking dish, but this is key. I'm actually going to take some water and very carefully not get it into my custard cups, but just into the pan up about 1 inch. It's basically, we're baking it in a water bath. So in these go to 450-degree oven, and again, 10 minutes at 450, then turn it down, bake them for about another 20 minutes until they're set, and we're going to pull them out of the oven and show you in just a minute, so stay with us. We'll be right back.